Hey folks, welcome back to my channel. I am Spikes86. Please like, comment, and subscribe to keep up with my fun sim adventures. This is a special episode. This is the Ratchet Legacy Challenge Scammers to Riches, which we're going to talk about while we build the matriarch in my challenge. So first I want to take a step moment that I am on TikTok, I'm on Spiel, and I'm on the EA gallery as Spikes86, which you can find all the creations and so on and so forth. You also check the link in this video for the actual Ratchet Legacy Scammers to Riches Challenge um, link, which is a Google Doc link, just FYI. But the Ratchet to Legacy challenge kind of came up with me and Kia, the Steelers fan, Twitch Twitch viewer slash homie. We were talking about kind of creating a challenge that would be fun and interesting and kind of keep you like in the midst of the legacy, but also allow you to be ratchet and ridiculous and a little evil and so on and so forth. Pretty much the business and hobbies has gotten us in a chokehold. But I wanted to kind of break down in this video what the Ratchet Legacy Scammer Challenge is going to be. So, first, it's created by me and Kia, the Steeler fan. The Ratchet Legacy Scammers to Riches is a 10-generation challenge that follows the devious rise of a family of scammers. Each generation introduces a new scammer with one goal: make as much money as possible, culminating to the 10th generation who becomes a billionaire. So yeah, it's pretty simple. It's basically going to be a generation of scammers, and I'm really excited to see what they get into. So right now we're working on Gen 1. And so I'm kind of going through, like, we had the basin that came up. I did a little bit of random to try to get to a sim that we could use as a base. And then I kind of settled on her because I thought she had really interesting features. And so I thought, okay, we could work with this. We can create a sim. And so we played around a little bit with her nose shape and her mouth shape. And then we were playing around with her skin tone, trying to get it just right. Because I really want to have a dark skinned sim, but I want her to have like really nice honey, like brown skin. So like we took a little bit to kind of adjust to get to where we needed to be. I changed her hair color because I thought like, okay, if her hair color changed, then her skin tone might actually look better. And so we settled on red, and I started thinking about how we can get her to pass along different traits that I thought might be interesting. So let's introduce Gen 1. Gen 1 is the psychic scammer. As a self proclaimed spiritualist, this scammer is all about using tarot card readings and the psychic advice to make a profit while staying shady and dishonest. So, the first generation, you get to pick your own traits. Rules across the entire challenge is to accept all personality changes and do not cheat. So you don't want to use any cheat codes that are going to impact you getting trophies and collections and so on and so forth. Um, so the key objectives to Gen 1 is to start with zero money, meaning you spend all of your funds on your household, like on your house or apartment if you choose to. Try to get it down to $1 or zero if you can. But you're going to try to collect all the Lady Raven Dancer Goth tarot cards. You cannot buy tarot cards to start out. You want to collect this one so you can start making money off of tarot card readings. But mostly you're going to build your fortune through stealing, asking for loans, and tarot card reading. You're going to open up a psychic shop once you amass enough money where you perform seances and tarot card readings. You're going to also complete the idealist business aspiration, which is the shady track, and then of course have one child. So as you can see here, we're kind of working through like what different hairstyle, who is this particular scammer that we're starting off, is a psychic scammer. So I had envisioned definitely a boho type of scammer, who thinks they're self-righteous and whatnot. And so now we're getting into Gen 2. Gen 2 is the thief scammer. So, growing up in a household steeped with the mythical and spiritual, this sim takes things a step further by stealing anything they can get their hands on. So, their traits are going to be kleptomaniac, and you're going to do two random traits. You're going to complete the sticky fingers aspiration, start in the criminal career, open a retail store to sell those stolen goods, and have at least five children. um, the object is to create kind of small little dramas with the different gameplays, and of course, have your own storyline and whatnot, and how Ratchet can really get. So, as you can see here, we are about to give her last name. So, we come up with Carlisle after doing a randomization. And then I started thinking, okay, well, what would be a cool first name? Then I thought, you know what? Portia would be cool. I haven't done Portia, haven't had a car name girl. So, I thought Portia would make sense. So, this is Portia Carlisle. Now we're going through kind of her aspirations and the traits that we want to pick and whatnot. So we know we have to complete the business idealist like aspiration. However, we don't have enough money to get there yet. So I wanted to start with an aspiration so we could get some reward points. And so I did the potions purveyor, which kind of tracks with like her being a boho spiritualist scammer. And so I thought, you know what, she could also sell potions that are all messed up when she gets to a high skill. But then I started thinking, oh, well, can she do that if she's not a spellcaster? And then I was like, no, I don't think she can. So then we created her as a spellcaster. Now, you do not need to make her a spellcaster. You do not need to make your first gen a spellcaster or bring any occult into this gameplay. I just decided to because I thought it would be interesting and leaning into that kind of hoodoo kind of spirit. We might end up like absolving the spellcaster trait once we kind of get out into a few other legacies. Speaking of the next generation, let's talk about Gen 3, the pot scammer. After growing up with so many siblings, this sim decides they can make money off of others' labors. Why do the work when they can make others do it for them? So their traits are self-assured, lazy, and you randomize the third trait. The key objectives for this generation is to start a pottery group, kidnap that pottery group by locking them in the basement with the bare essentials, and then forcing them to make pottery, open up a small pottery shop, sell the products of the forced labor, complete the fabulously wealthy aspiration, have three kids, and force them to do all the chores. So that's what Generation 3 is going to be. Right now, we're picking out some traits. Definitely giving her definitely the boho aesthetics. We chose yellow, blue, and black as kind of her primary colors. We also gave her wants and dislikes, who she's attracted to, who she's not attracted to. We definitely put taken and wealthy in there. She don't fuck with the brokes, and she doesn't fuck with any academics. So now we are making her bisexual as well because I don't know who her partner is going to be. And then we are kind of going through, what is the boho aesthetic that we want to accomplish? Where do we see her? And then I wanted to see what this yellow, because I never really play around too much with yellow. And I thought that this was great because she had a little mojo bag on the side. And I was like, see, this is perfect for this sim. And then this new business and hobby hair with the hair wrap and these urban homage earrings. Absolutely. Another black simmer pack that you need to get is the urban homage kits. Urban Homage and Carnival are black ass kits. I said it. So now we're going into Gen 4, which is the death scammer. This sim has seen a lot of people work themselves to death and become fascinated with the afterlife. They're determined to profit off of death in any way possible. So their traits are going to be chased by death, and then you can randomize to other traits. The objective of this generation is to sell the ashes of the slave labor that they inherited from their parents in a small business. Join the funeral director career to reach level 10, max out the theology skill, complete the ghost historian aspiration, or the villainous Valentine. Have at least one child with the ghost of one of your dead exes. You're going to get married, but you're also going to have affairs, and you're going to kill two of them. And then you're going to create a will and leave everything, which includes all your money, to one of the persons that you are cheating with. So this is definitely the middle of the road, shake shit up generation that has a lot of problems, a lot of issues. So right now I'm going in and kind of again thinking about what traits could pass down for this sim, wanted to give her a little bit more character. And I love these moles and how they place. I also was thinking about birthmarks and vitiligo for a second, but I was like, you know what, I like the moles. I like how they work. And I'm like, if we can have her moles and her red hair passed down, I think that'd be cool. So, Gen 5 is the creative scammer. This sim discovers that getting others to do their work while reaping the benefits could lead to a fortune. So, they start a nectar sweatshop, crafting nectar from every possible fruit and vegetable in the game, if allowed, or if you have all of that. So, you're going to complete so basically the only trait you need is shady, and then you can randomize the other two. You're going to complete the nectar aspiration, age all the basically nectar bottles up, basically keeping one from each fruit and vegetable as family heirlooms. You're going to have 4 children, but you're going to have one child per season over a calendar year. Each child needs to have the name of a wine brand. And then you're going to randomize a number between 1 and 4 and give them randomize between a number of 1 and 5 and give them that many bottles before kicking them out once they become teens or adults. Each child must also pursue a creative activity that can generate income, so that being potion making, drawing table, lemonade stand, candy making, gardening, flower arranging, etc. Randomize the number between 1 and 4, and that child must start a business using their creative skill to sell goods. And then you're going to create a group for each child within their creative niche to recruit for other kids to help produce items for sale. So this leads us into Gen 6, which is the Black Widow scammer. After a lifetime of exploitation, you realize there's quick money in love and death. Marry, reproduce, and make your partner disappear. Repeat 10 times. Jewelry making is your private passion, not for profit. Selling your labor? Absolutely not. So this actual generation has a lot trait. You're going to be on the ley line lot traits. Your traits are going to be shady, evil, and you can choose between romantic or love bug. Your aspiration can be either villainous Valentine or mansion baron. The objective is to complete your chosen aspiration, max out the gemology skill, marry 10 partners, kill all 10 partners, have 10 children, one with each partner, at least one with each partner, I should say. Not all children must stay. You're allowed to lose up to 3 to CPS or DHS or child, whichever services that take children in your space. And then choose one heir to pass on the gemstone knowledge. And so that is Gen 6. And now we are working through basically her next everyday outfit, which this is from, I think, the Horse Ranch pack, actually. And I really love how this looks. I thought this was cute. I was like, you know what? I don't give the Horse Ranch pack that much credit, especially when it comes to like that country boho aesthetic. And I'm here for it. We also like think through, okay, what's the next outfit going to be? Are we going to do a top? Are we not going to do a top? I wasn't necessarily sure. So we're still working through all of that. But excited to get into the gameplay of this legacy, which we've already done. Like, I've already done the first, I believe, 3 episodes of the Ratchet Legacy Challenge. This is actually going to be solely a Twitch series. So if you want to watch it in real time, you can follow me over on Twitch. Again, that's Spikes86 over there on Twitch. I will also be uploading it on the YouTube, but I will not be editing it. It will just be the raw footage from the streams. And so, yes, I love these pants. I love these bell bottoms, and I love how it comes with its belt. And then you see this little arm cuff from basically Business Hobbies. I'm like, look at this boho aesthetic. But now let's get into Generation 7. Generation 7 is the gym hustler scammer. Growing up surrounded by both death and passion, you found beauty in gemstones. You form a jeweler group and open a shop to sell everyone's creation. Of course, you're not above shady or fraudulent means to boost your business. So the one trait is shady, and then you randomize the other two. You want to create the gemstone or gemology aspiration. You want to commit 10 acts of insurance fraud, sell your group's wares in the shop, grow your business to level 5 and earn a shady business trait, have one child, so no marriage or co-parenting allowed, live in an apartment, and then your child must grow into a music prodigy. So as you can see, we're playing around with kind of this ponytail, which I really did like this ponytail when she manifested, but obviously we need to give her the baby hairs. So that's what we did. And then I, of course, needed to give her urban homage earrings, because these earrings, first of all, that kit is just amazing. And look at this. Look at this. You see with the freaking chains? And then I was like, okay, we're going to have to switch it up a bit. Now I was thinking about giving her a skirt, and I really wanted to give her a skirt. And I was like, okay, well, what kind of skirt can we give her? And so we're just going through trying to find like a nice yellow skirt. And I like this like very leather skirt. And I think that's actually from the paranormal kit. And I was like, I don't use it that much. And then I was trying to go through like the different boots and whatnot. And I ended up, I think, settling on the Urban Homage boots actually. And then we ended up giving her some bracelets from the Vintage Glamour, I think, pack. Which actually, I slept on the Vintage Glamour pack for a while. It's actually not a bad pack. And then I wanted to kind of give her a little bit of some lip gloss, a little brighter makeup. I really wanted this texture hair because she's a natural hair girly too. So we want to go there. Now we're working on, I think, the fourth or fifth, we're working on the fifth outfit probably. So this one wanted to kind of lean into this boho aesthetic a bit. Not much variations going on. Um, you know, kind of like where she was. And then I thought we need a belly button ring. So that's where we're getting this belly button ring from. So that way we can show it off in various outfits, because yes, of course. And then I was like, yes, it looks amazing. And I had to go back and see like how it's gonna appear. I realized I don't think I actually gave her any tattoos. And I think we can get some tattoos in game now to think about it. But we're moving on to the formal wear. And formal wear, I wanted to give her very much a country formal wear kind of aesthetic. Very indigenous. I had just saw Sinners, or I was just about to go see Sinners, and so I was really like hyped about this kind of really southern country aesthetic, gothic kind of thing going on and stuff. So yeah, so we're playing around a little bit with her makeup and whatnot, and so yeah, it's a good deal. It's a good deal. But I digress. We're about to get into, I believe, the next generation, which is Generation 8, which is the record producer scammer. So, you're the child of a gym hustler and a music prodigy. You've got talent, ambition, and just enough shady connections to make it big. You decide to open a recording studio or a nightclub and hustle your way to fame by exploiting rising stars and milking every last Samodian out of their dream. So the traits are going to be shady, music lover, and ambitious. And then your aspiration is musical genius. You're going to open and fully run a recording studio and or nightclub. You're going to sign or collaborate with at least 5 rising stars. You can do this by building relationships with Sims in the music career or musical aspiration. You can also put music type Sims into your game or start a group for these types of Sims. Have a hidden pay to produce system. Require every artist to give you a gift before promotion, or mentor to STEM and gain money for mentoring. So you're going to reach level 10 in the DJing, media production, and piano and keyboard skills. Host at least 10 successful parties or events with performances. Have one love child with a performer you manage, but do not raise that child. Arrange for someone else to care for them, such as hiring a nanny or live-in butler. And then finally, you want to gain at least 3 fame stars, but don't become a global superstar because you're just behind the scenes. And finally, we go into Generation 9, which is the stage manager scammer. You grown up surrounded by performers and learn one truth: the real money isn't on stage, it's behind the scenes. Determined to foster talent for your own game, you open a performing arts center teaching music, comedy, and acting. You even marry a partner who shares your shady vision, and together you run a performance empire. Of course, everything comes at a price. Your traits are shady, perfectionist, and snob. Your aspiration is master actor. You want to reach level 10 in charisma, acting, comedy, and guitar. Open a performing arts school, obviously using business and hobbies, or you can use a club. Recruit 5 Sims to join your performance group and participate in school activities. Marry a partner who has the shady trait. Your spouse must open and operate a separate performance venue where your students perform for money. And then have 2 children. One of the children must die in front of the other child using in-game mechanics. And so right now we're working on, let's see here. I think we're going back. Yes, we're giving her signature earrings. This is our sportswear look. I think I chose blue as the base color for the sportswear look. Um, and wanted to get a little comfy, like didn't necessarily want to do anything super deep. So that's why that sportswear is very simple. And then of course we went with the comfy sleepwear. And then she manifests with this dress, and I was like, I love this dress. I I think that this was such a great addition to the base game that they gave us. So I took off all the things that she had manifest with it because I was like, why? Why did you have to manifest with all of this? But love this dress, added to appropriate accessories. I like the shades that they were going for, but I wanted to, give her some more cooler shades. And so we do find some cooler shades. I like the fact that she had this head wrap, so we don't change that. So yeah, we keep everything pretty much copacetic, except we just change out small subtle features. And then we give her a nice little beat. We give her a red lip. And then we move on to swimwear. And for swimwear, I again went with her signature blue color. Definitely wanted to show off her belly button ring. And so we gave her braids because we had not given her braids yet. And so I really wanted to give her some braids. We still gave her a nice little beat, but not like anything super duper huge. And then lastly, we get into her hot weather look, and this is actually from the bowling pack. I thought this was really nice. Showed off the belly button ring, but gave her still that cozy vibes. And then we switched out some bracelets. Um, Ended up giving her a little bit of some boho type aesthetic bracelets. This one I chose because it had the calorie sheets in it, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then we ended up giving her like a gold, like silver chains, and I was like, yes, this is the vibe, this is the aesthetic, this is who she is. Like, she's boho, but don't get it twisted, that bitch is from the ghetto. And so we were very excited and happy for that. Um, we are working through some makeup. We end up giving her this little dewy look, which I did kind of tone down a smidge. And now we're getting into this winter wear look again, leaning into the blue aesthetic. Um, wanted to definitely give her this business and hobbies boho jacket. And then these tights just really set it off. And I was like, yes. And then I was like, okay, we need to have longer hair, but I also wanted to give her a hat because she was definitely a hat girly from this time. And then I was like, okay, can I add chains? We could not add chains, which is disappointing. And then I was like, all right, well, I would love to give her some shades. And then we went back with her signature shades, but like in a different color. Um, and we did give her a little bit makeup. Um, and I went a little bit darker with this makeup right now. But now let's get into the last generation, which is Gen 10, the ghost scammer. After witnessing the death of your sibling, you become obsessed with the concept of death itself. Yet, like your ancestors, you also carry the legacy of the scam. Fascinated with the afterlife, you begin experimenting with temporary death, just enough to learn how to haunt and hustle. But as your time in the spirit world deepens, you begin to wonder if you'll ever come back. Your traits are gloomy, shady, and the macabre. You also are going to complete the ghost historian aspiration. For this objective generation, you're going to join the Reaper career, become a playable ghost temporarily in game. While you're a ghost, you want to unlock and max your ghost, evil ghost traits abilities. You're going to reach level 5 in the Reaper career and then choose to become a permanent ghost. You want to complete the ghost historian aspiration, where you're going to also be primarily earning income through horror books. You're going to continue to rob or extort the living as a ghost. And then you want to complete the Soul's Journey storyline to earn the right to be reborn. Leave your wealth to a relative. That could be aunt, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, before being rebirthed. And then you're going to rebirth into a brand new sim. And this will mark the Gen 1 of the Super Good Sims legacy, which will be coming soon. We're going to continue like a part 2 built onto this type of legacy. There's going to be a whole different host challenge. So, as we're working through the final outfits, now we're breaking down. Here is all of the outfits for every day. Then this is our formal outfit. This is our gym wear outfit. This is our sleepwear, our party look. And then this is our swimwear. This is our hot weather look. And then we're back to the winter look. And that's it, people. That completes the Ratchet Legacy. Please tag me in it. I would love to know if you're going to take on this challenge. But until next time, like, subscribe, and ring that bell notification so you know when the next episode of the Ratchet Legacy will be on.